Hi everyone! Today we're going to put together this beautiful cross wreath for Easter or for the entire spring season. Let's get started! We're starting off today with this cross wreath frame from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to also be using 3 of this lavender roll of Deco mesh. It's 6 inches wide and 5 yards in length, and then 3 of the white Deco mesh. I won't use the whole third roll. It'd be quite a bit left for both of those. And then I have some zip ties, and I just chose white. So what I do when I'm sitting around watching TV when I'm doing one of these wreaths is to tie off my little poof sections, and I've done them in 5 inches each. And my pipe cleaners are 4 inches in length. And I take them and start with the end of the mesh. I fold it in because you know how I hate those raw edges sticking out. And I take a pipe cleaner and wrap it around that. And then every 5 inches, I kind of fold in these sides a little bit. And I've got it facing up. You can see the roll is rolled side up. And gather it at that point. And then take a pipe cleaner and kind of twist it around once or twice just to hold it in place. Once it gets secured to the cross, that'll help to hold it in place too. So I just go on, and before you know it, you've got an entire roll of mesh tied off every 5 inches, making my little poofs. So I'm starting with the end of the Deco mesh. That last piece there is a little shorter than 5 inches, so I'm not going to actually use it as a poof. It'll be tucked up underneath when I'm finished. So I start on the very end of the cross, the bottom of the cross, I guess you would call it. And I just start adding my little poofs on with my little twisty ties. I do 3 across the bottom, so I have 1 in each little area. There's 1 on the left side, 1 in the center, and there'll be 1 on the right side too. And so this is how we begin, just twisting these onto the frame. And so the next thing I'm going to do is begin working my way up the bottom of the cross. I'm going to be twisting these onto one of the inner bars. And you'll see as we work forward that I go all the way up that one side and then just follow it around and do an arm of the cross and loop back around, do the top of the cross, loop back down, do the other arm of the cross, and then work my way back down the other side of the bottom of the cross. And you'll see how that works out as we keep going. So right now I'm going to just twist a few of these on here so you can see how this looks once I get this one section done, and it'll kind of explain as what I'm actually doing. You see now that I've turned it over a little bit how I am twisting each of these poofs right onto the same rung as one of the inner rungs of the cross. And I'm doing 6 in each section, so I do 5 in the middle, and then I do 1 at that crossbar, so that makes my 6 poofs. And then I'm going to trim them. And what's most important when you're using these pipe cleaners is once you've trimmed them and got them the length you want, is to kind of fold them in so that raw edge of that wire won't be sticking up and cutting into yourself or cutting into your customer. So that's what we want to do to keep everything safe. So now I'm going to just take my finger and bend each one down. I'm kind of just bending it in half so that that raw wire is back facing the I want to call it a beam. It's not a beam. Facing the wire of the cross frame. So I'm going to speed up a little bit and just take you through the second section here. You see I've done the same thing, straight up that same line of the inner rung of the cross. And now I'm in that third section. I've worked my way all the way up to the crossbars, and I'm going around there, and that just kind of helps things hold things in place so your mesh doesn't get moved around too much. And now I'm working my way over to that first, I guess that's the left side of the cross. And the same thing on that the inner wire of the cross, just twisting these things on until I get all my little poofs on here. And I use the same amount in this section. I use 5 poofs, well, 5 twists, 5 twisty ties. And then I'm going to do one on the end to kind of hold it in place. I think when I do these in the future, I will not be putting it on the end. I think I will also let that be in the center. And as you'll see in the end, it made it a little difficult for the color I placed behind it to show because it was stuck out on the end and it was the same length as that color. So I think from now on, if I do these in 2 tones, I will always make sure that that stays on the inner rung. Here's where I'm actually twisting it to the outer rung. And that caused me a little bit of difficulty in the end. So I would just do 6 on one side on that inside wire and then just do 6 on the other side at the top, what we're going to next of the inside wire. I would not be doing it to that, twisting it onto that outer edge. All right, so we're going to move on and let you see what this looks like. So here it is. I just, like I said, went all the way around the cross and kept going up and down until I made my way all the way back to the bottom. And it's kind of full. It's a little bit of the cross showing through. But once I put in the next color, it's going to fill it in some more and you won't be able to see that. So I've got my lavender mesh already pre-twisted, just like I did the white. And now I'm on the outer bars of the cross. And you can see I'm just going to do the same thing. Work my way up the side. And when I get to one of those cross bars, I'll go around that too. So it won't, my mesh won't be able to just move up and down too easily. And I'm going to just keep working my way up here. And I did the same number. I did... I think 5 or 6. I believe I did 6 still in each section. And you can see now that I'm at the top. I'm about to go to the side of the cross again. And just continue on and on and on those outer bars. We did the inner bars for the white. Now we're just doing the outer bars for the lavender here. So as I'm working my way around, I stop every now and then. And what I do is actually spread those lavender poofs out a little bit. And I'm bringing them up into the white so that they're kind of blended. They're going to be on the outer edge of my cross. I want that lavender color to be on the outer edge and the white to be in the center. But they do kind of mesh together on the sides there. And it comes together. You can still see that the white is the center and the lavender is the outside. But blending it together just kind of helps the colors come together and kind of look cohesive. So that's what I'm doing now, showing you how I just kind of pull them into the white a little bit. So I'm back to the back of my cross again. I'm going to finish making my way around here and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. We'll be finished stage 1 and then we'll be ready to move on to the next thing. So this is what the cross is looking like now. And we're going to move on and add some more adornment to it. So the next thing I want to do is add some of these leaves. It came in a group of 5. And this is what they look like when I kind of spread them out. And I want to see, place it behind the cross, just get a feel if I want to use all 5 just like this. And although I thought this was cute, it looked a little too full for me. So I guess you could go either way, just depending on your preference, how many you want to put in the background. So I took off the 2 outer leaves and then I'm going to place it behind here again, and I like this a lot better. I still got the leaf effect without having too many. It didn't look too bunched up. And I'm using my little flat pliers here to bend in those edges of that wire I just cut. Always be careful with that wire, making sure you bend it in as much as possible whenever you use it to make sure you know, you don't get cut, your customer doesn't get cut, and their door doesn't get scratched. So now that I've got that together, I'm zip tying it in on that main piece of the leaf, the stem. And I'm going to go on down to the sides, not down, but over to the sides, and zip tie it to the outer leaves too. And as I was doing this, I discovered the loop I made to hang the cross. it was not in a good position anymore because the leaf was going to be covering it. So I had to take that off, and I'll reposition that later. So here we go. Now I'm zip tying the side leaves to the outer rims of the cross. I'm calling this everything: wires, rim, beams. You all know what I mean. So I'm coming up that outer wire, and I've zip tied that on. And then here again, those edges, sometimes when you clip those zip ties, can be sharp. So make sure you push them inward, so that, again, you're not scratching yourself or your customer's door. So I'm going to flip this over so you can get a feel for how it looks. And this is how it's looking so far. And I kind of like how that is. A little off center, but I like how it is. And I'm going to flip it back over and just reinforce everywhere I connected it to a zip tie. I'm reinforcing it with some hot glue. Straight down that main stem of the leaves, and then where each zip tie is attached. So once I got that done, I'm ready to move on. Again, I want a few of these leaves on the bottom. I'm very symmetrical. Of course, yours does not have to look like this. You can place your leaves where you like them. But I did two kind of in the lower corners of that cross there. And I'm going to take my time and attach them right at that cross bar again of the wreath. And then I'm going to also bend the edge of the stem down so it is laying right alongside the crossbar. And that way it can get attached with zip ties in two places. And that'll make it more secure. So this is where I'm taking another zip tie and securing the very end of the leaf where I folded it in. And now I'm going to clip them. And then again, I'm going to turn them inward so that those raw edges won't cut you or scratch you. And then I'm going to secure it again with some more glue. Yeah, these little flat pliers come in handy for a lot of things, because I was trying to turn this and it was actually digging into my finger. So I actually used the pliers to help me spin it around a little bit. And these are, I think I mentioned before, these are jewelry pliers that I actually just use. There's some old ones that I won't use on jewelry anymore. So here I'm just adding my little bit of glue. And now I'm going to go ahead and secure the second leaf the same way. Now with all my leaves attached, I'm going to start working on my little blossoms here. And I first take all my leaves and push them up toward the blossoms, because I want all of those leaves, when I'm finished cutting these stems off, I don't want them to get separated from my blossoms. So I've pushed them up, I've trimmed it, and I'm trying to get a feel for how long I need the stems to be. In the end, I cut the stems really short because I realized I'm just not going to need all that stem behind there. So I'm laying them out a little bit to try to see where I want them to go. And I decided to follow the shape of the cross. I tried them a few different directions before I came to this conclusion. But it really helps to emphasize the shape of the cross when I just go straight up and down and then to the sides. Now that I've decided I kind of like the way this is looking, I'm going to take them back off and begin gluing them on one by one. Starting with my centerpiece, I chose to cut the stems, like I said, down really short. And what I'm going to do next is add a little bit of glue to the bottom so that they don't come apart. You know, if someone were to pull on a flower, you don't want the leaf to stay on the cross and the flower be in your hands, you know. So again, now that I've got my stems cut really short, I'm just placing the flower where I want it to be. And you can see I put a little more glue around that base part where the leaves are attached to that stem and the flower so they stay together. And then I'm going to place the first one in the center. I put a lot of glue on the leaves, those green leaves, not the petals. And I'm going to burn myself a little bit here. And then I'm trying to get a little bit of glue off of the petals here. And then I'm going to hold the leaves down against that mesh so that glue can set and hold the flower in place. Now that I've got that one like I want it, I'm going to move on and do the same with the other 4 flowers. Now if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and share it with others. This will really help me to get my channel to grow, and others will be able to make these cute little wreaths if they want to. And if you want to see what I'll be doing in the future, hit that button and ring the bell so you'll be notified when I release new videos. I've got something new and different coming up. I'm hoping to get it done for next week. And I'm just all excited about it. I've had this idea in my head for at least over a year now, and I finally found the materials that I think will work. And I'm going to make hopefully a new design that you haven't seen before. So that's coming next week. All right, let's keep getting these blossoms on here, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So we've gotten all of our leaves on, our flowers are on, and this is how we're looking. Very happy with how this is turning out. Even though my leaves are still a little off center, I got to remember to straighten those out. And now I'm going to go back and try to add this loop, my little hanger loop, in a place where it'll still be about the right height for a customer to place it on the door. So once I finish that, I'm going to share some pictures with you again of the completed project and an example of how it will look hanging on your door. All right, I thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll be talking with you again real soon. Here are the pictures.